Now, the UK government wants Britain to be a clean energy superpower, generating 95% of its electricity from low-carbon sources by 2030. But can it be a solar superpower too? Despite its infamously gloomy weather, the UK believes it can generate nearly a quarter of low-carbon electricity from the sun in what it's calling an ambitious but achievable target. Stuart Smith filed this report for CNA from London.
2025 has been the brightest year for British solar power on record. A particularly sunny year, combined with multiple new solar arrays, meant that at one point in May, 40% of the country's electricity came straight from the sun.
I don't want to say climate change is a good thing, but it has meant we get slightly drier weather, fewer cloudy days, so it is increasing the yields. I think the other big thing is we've reduced the amount of air pollution in the UK quite rapidly, so improvement in vehicles and also this reduction in the emissions from ships in the North Sea means the skies are clearer than they have been for decades.
Even on a day like this in November, solar power still meets around a fifth of UK electricity demand. Wind power makes up most of the rest, and natural gas, the only fossil fuel being burned for electricity today, makes up around just 4%.
But this mix varies throughout the day. By the afternoon, the sun was back behind the clouds and natural gas ramped up to meet demand. It increases even more at night. And so, in the end, on average, solar only provides 6% of Britain's total energy production a year. The proposed solution is more batteries to store that power and more solar panels to capture as much as possible when the sun is shining.
We're in the midst of a second boom of solar at the moment. First one was in the early 2010s, and now solar is really, well, accelerating like never before within the UK. Developers are just urging grid planning authorities to let them connect, let them build as quickly as possible.
The country can currently capture up to 20 gigawatts under perfectly sunny conditions. The target by 2030 is to be able to capture at least 45 gigawatts, enough to power 9 million homes. But the UK's electricity grid is at capacity, with a huge list of projects waiting to be greenlit.
The capacity of assets currently looking to connect to the network is in the range of 700 gigawatts. For context, that is equivalent to the size of the existing network in the country. So in effect, if we are going to be meeting the targets, we are going to have to double the size of our networks.
As well as implementing huge infrastructure upgrades, in effect, this means terminating so-called zombie projects that have stalled and prioritising the ones already good to go. It also means taking seriously a new speculative option that has finally become feasible: solar power from space.
It's really for decades been considered technically viable, but just too expensive, and that's because a high percentage of the capital cost is launching this stuff. And over the last 8 years, the cost of launch has really come down.
The sun always shines in space, and so an array of solar panels orbiting the Earth is in near perpetual sunlight, providing predictable power which can be directed towards any point of need in the country, or indeed the world.
If you put a solar panel